Hey there, Mike Gennady here, and I have an example that I wanted to quickly highlight. I'm doing this in real time. I will trim out the dead space in between, so you have to sit and wait. But I have a customer who is looking to do a prompt-a-thon. They're looking around information around Copilot usage for specific groups, and one of those particular groups is their strategic marketing and analytics group, and they're wanting to know, prompts that they can use. So what I've done here is I put in some of the criteria they were looking at, and it said, write for me a series of useful prompts that can be used in Microsoft 365 Copilot to extract information related to strategic marketing and analytics. Prompts in this group focus on leveraging AI for strategic insights, analytics, and decision making in marketing. They're about extracting value from data, improving competitive intelligence, and supporting sales and marketing strategy. So that came directly from the customer. Categorize the prompts, this is from me, into three sections. The first section should be for prompts. The first section should be for prompts from, it's a good thing I'm rereading that, from Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. The second section should be prompts optimized for Microsoft 365 Chat with ChatGPT enabled, ChatGPT 5 enabled. And the third section should be for prompts optimized for use in the Microsoft 365 Copilot Researcher Agent and the Microsoft 365 Copilot Analyst Agent. Specific areas to address with the prompts include Adobe Analytics, marketing analytics, analysis of sales materials, competitive intelligence, preparation for sales meetings. In these specific areas, if there are any dependencies for connection to other systems, please list those, i.e. graph connectors, etc. So you can see I put a pretty detailed description as to what I'm looking for, treating it like it's an intern, right? Hey, you're my intern. This is exactly what I want. Now, it's still going to probably come back and ask me some clarifying questions. So we're going to go ahead and submit that. And once we get to the part where it's doing the long, deep reasoning research, I'll pause the video and then we'll resume after. But here we are. We're going researcher. So I want to just get to where it asked me to clarify it, and I'm probably going to just go ahead and say, to go ahead, it says, hey, thanks for the detailed request. I understand you're looking for categorized prompts, examples. To make sure I tailor this to your needs, would you like the prompts to be formatted as a downloadable reference, e.g. Word or Excel, or just listed in the response? Should the prompts be geared towards internal Microsoft users, external clients, or both? That's a great thing. Thank you. Are you looking for prompts that assume Adobe Analytics and other systems are already integrated via graph connectors, or guidance on how to set up these connections? This is awesome. So I'm going to say the prompts, and we'll take that. Whoop, Control C. The prompts should be geared towards external clients, and you should, here we go, include, and you should include guidance on how to set up those connections to external sources such as Adobe Analytics. Beautiful. So there we are. So we've got our piece. I'm going to go ahead, click that, see if it comes back with anything last, or if it's just kicking in to actually doing the research. And then we'll go ahead and pause our recording and resume once it's done. If you're not using Researcher, I just have to say this. If you're not using Researcher today, you are missing out. I use it almost daily. So you can see this is a pretty in-depth thing that they're looking for. Then I'm going to run the same thing. They have another group with similar needs around different content that they're looking to produce. In fact, for that one, That is their marketing and productivity and creative work groups. And so they have a whole separate set. And that is going to be kind of cool because it's information that's really internal. Now, I do have to tell you, as we're sitting here, I am on Wi-Fi right now. I am at a RV resort, shared Wi-Fi with thousands of people here, so I'm not on the greatest. Okay, so it's beginning the research, but we can see it's going. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and we'll resume shortly. All right, so we are back. It's ran through its prompts, and so you can see here we have the whole process by which it took my lengthy requirements and started reasoning through. And it was just great watching it. But actually, here's the beauty of this, right? With researcher, you're doing all this deep reasoning research, a lot of work happening behind the scenes. While that was happening, I was Teams chatting with folks and involved in some conversations, also some emails, was able to do other work while Copilot chat ran in the background with the researcher agent. Let's take a look at what we have here. So it went ahead, started off this Microsoft 365 Copilot prompts for strategic marketing and analytics. And then it has an opening, it has a tip, external data for deeper insights to maximize Copilot's value, integrate your key marketing data sources, use graph connectors in here. And then it talks a little bit about some of this, and it goes into more depth as we go. Then it has talking about prompts. It talks about Adobe Analytics insights via Copilot chat. So talking about in just the straight up Copilot chat, what's happening there. And then it talks about how you can export key analytic reports to SharePoint and OneDrive, or use a custom connector that calls the Analytics API, requiring an OAuth integration in Adobe Developer Console to obtain. It's telling you what to do with links directly to that source right over here, so you can take a look at that. And so then we have, it's got the prompts here, use case, example, Copilot chat prompt, dependencies and setup, goes through. Then we have some more analytics and analysis of sales materials. We're still in the generic M365 Copilot chat that it's talking about, right? And then it talks about competitive intelligence in Copilot chat, keeps going with that. Then it gets into the Chat GPT-5 section. And it says when you enable GPT-5 with Microsoft 365 Copilot chat, you unlock a larger context window and more powerful reasoning capabilities. This means Copilot can handle longer documents, bigger data sets, and more complex multi-part questions all in one go. And so it tells you about a little bit more about that, what you can do. And then it starts to get into prompts and the dependencies again for setup that you can use for being able to do this. And so it's going through the different sections, yada, yada, yada. Great, great, great. And then it gets into prompts for 365 Copilot, researcher agent, and analyst agent. Explains what they are, what they're capable of doing. And then it talks about doing Adobe Analytics deep dive with the analyst agent in this case, right? So we can see here it has where you can grab the data, provide the raw data, e.g. an exported CSV of data metrics as an example. And then it gives a sample prompt with much deeper analysis. And so it goes through, it's provided all that for me. I then opened that up at the very end, as we always do, where I can come in and say, oh, edit in pages. And so I click the edit in pages view right over here. And again, if I wanted to, there we go. Nope, come on. There we go. So I have this edit in pages view, which I could share with colleagues to collaborate on that information. But then I finally opened up in Microsoft Word, and here we go. So now we have a Word doc, and I can provide this information now to the customer in advance. So this is just great stuff. I mean, look at all the sources, everything. It's formatted, it's beautiful, all using Researcher, doing something that would have taken me a ton of work. Think about doing the research on these individual areas, compiling all that, trying to put it all together, how many hours or days of work it would have taken. I ran it in the background while I did other work. When it's done, I resumed here. And there we go. So that's it. Again, Microsoft Researcher is your best friend for doing deep research and output. I love it. I use it every week. This is a great example. You should too. With that, this is Mike Giannotti saying have a great day. Take care. And as always, ciao.